Welcome back to the Hayden Collins radio program, the Intelligence Syndicate. We are working hard. And by the way, Rick, we got notification from one of our memorandum of understandings through one of the universities that somebody was trying to confiscate our name. They wanted
the confiscate our name?
Yeah, they wanted the Intelligence Syndicate.
Well, okay.
I said, no, you can't have it.
Okay, well, I mean, gosh, that's, good luck with that.
Well, yeah, it was a little research, and what they told us was it was kind of one of those awkward political groups, and I'm going, no, they don't need that. It's ours. Go away.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to sell it to them.
Well, I mean, look, if they want to spend $1 million or more, yeah, maybe you consider it, but
Yeah.
it's probably not going to happen.
Oh, gosh. I'd have to buy a new fishing pole then, with that kind of money. All right, so... Hey, governor's race in the state of Georgia, the Democratic candidate is ensuring that we won't have guns in the state of Georgia.
She's ensuring that? How is that?
Well, after she wins the race, she's going to, her campaign promise says that, she's going to solve that.
Right. Okay. And who's going to go around and gather all these guns?
No, she hasn't thought that far. No, Rick, she hasn't thought that far ahead. No.
Well, here's the thing. All I know is if for some god-awful reason she succeeds in passing legislation that says you can't have guns, all I know is my guns will all of a sudden become undocumented firearms. I mean, if we can have undocumented immigrants and all this other stuff and allow those in the state, undocumented firearms can be allowed as well.
That's it. Undocumented firearms. Oh, you're killing me, man. Hey, speaking of somebody getting really wiped out, boy, give Kavanaugh give him his kudos, man. He's put it up with a bounce of stupidity all week long.
I haven't had a chance to watch a lot of the proceedings, but I did see that short segment that they've been posting around the place with literally like the first 7 seconds of the beginning of the confirmation hearings, and the Dems really kind of showed their behind. And, immediately going into this whole thing about we haven't had enough time to look at these documents, blah, blah, blah. If it were me, if I were Grassley and I looked at them, I would have said, Obamacare, thank you.
Oh, yeah.
Back to regular order now.
Yeah, well, you can't do tit for tat, and you know how that works.
Well, why not? I mean, that's basically what the Dems are doing at this point. And
all right.
That once they get back into power, that's going to be what happens, right? So,
Rick.
Fire with fire.
No, McCain's dead. And with McCain's death, what Democrat's going to cross the aisle to work with the Republicans?
Well, you say that as if McCain were a Republican. I mean, let's be honest.
Well, that's what I said. What Democrat's going to cross the aisle?
Exactly. I mean, look, I offer condolences to his family, and I know how it is. I buried both my parents. I know how hard it is to bury a parent. But the fact of the matter is the guy was working against every single, or almost every single Republican principle in the book. I don't really see how he can consider himself a Republican.
There's a whole generation of those guys that are dying in office right now, and I'm trying to nail down this story. If you can help me verify this story, there are medications being prescribed to these individuals that are holding office for Alzheimer's. So consider this. We have 650 people in office in Washington, D.C., and on average of those 650 people, according to national statistics, 35 of them at their age of 75 and plus, which is a majority of them, unfortunately, could be suffering from Alzheimer's.
Well, therein lies part of the problem, right? When you look at some of the behavior, and I look at the behavior of not only just Democrats, but even some Republicans, but it seems to fall mostly on the Democratic side where, they are so unhinged that you really can't tell a change in behavior. So, they say things and do things that are out of line with what most would consider the norm, but when you get Alzheimer's or any kind of dementia, you do things that are outside of the norm as well. So how do we accurately reflect that, and how do we accurately look at that and say, that's out of character for them?
Well, and see,
it's kind of hard.
That's just it. I mean, all the claims about being fit or unfit for office and this, that, and the other, Congress has problems, man. How many of these individuals have to die in office before we as a general public figure out that's a bad idea? We don't.
So I have a feeling this conversation is leading towards the discussion of term limits, which seems to be, with McCain dying in office, and you get some of these Supreme Court justices dying on the bench, and all these other people that are dying in their offices, you got to look at that and say, well, the term limits make sense. I had an argument, well, let's call it a discussion with someone about this, and they said, well, the elections are the term limits. And I would say I agreed with that up to a certain point. When we look at the electorate and how apathetic the electorate is in regards to really understanding what's going on with their representatives, whether it be a representative, House of Representatives or Senate or president, or even at the local level, you have people who can barely tell you who their representatives are, who their Congress members are, who the president is. Well, most everyone knows that now, right? But who the vice president is.
Oh, Rick, I'm going to throw this back on you. Rick. You ready?
Go ahead.
Okay. Party members know. General public does not. 80% of the general public is not even allowed to vote in primaries. We get party candidates. We don't get candidates from the district. So there is a disconnect. Even now, 70% of the United States is not even paying attention to what's going on politically. They don't care. 15% of the left is paying attention. 15% of the right is paying attention. Because things are good. They're too busy working to watch TV and get involved in the drama. But the term limit comment is no good. Whoever had that argument, the best comeback for that is then eliminate the primary system where incumbents win 90% of the time with only party members voting. Allow the entire district to vote, and then see where it goes with your term limits. Then it would be effective. But party term limits don't work.
I don't disagree with you. I look at I will call it cacophonous type of elections that occur in the UK where they have multiple parties on the ballot for the people representing them. And part of me kind of wants to see the apple cart upset a little bit. And maybe that's part of it, right? And having so many people on the ballot that you have to look at doing things like instant rank voting. And, who are you going to support based on their policies? Not putting a party, I think, if you put a party on the ballot that, you have to, or rather, if you take it off the ballot, that you have to actually go and understand what the policies of these people are, what they stand for, and go do some research. That's part of the problem that I have is right now, I have people literally calling me on election day, who do I vote for? And I'm like,
yeah, they aren't paying attention. Which party member am I supposed to support?
Well, most of my friends know that I lean Republican, although I would say more so at this stage of my life, I am aligned with certain principles of the Republican Party. I can't say all of them because I don't agree with some of them.
No, you're missing me, Rick. You're missing me, Rick. I'm not coming after you. What I was making was a statement that they didn't pay attention up to the point until the party offered somebody and they didn't know which party member to vote for.
Oh, no, absolutely.
Okay.
I'm agreeing with you in essence, but what I'm saying is people have to go and do the research. No one does any research anymore. If you walk down the street, if you do like a jaywalking segment, like Jay Leno used to do, and ask people, what are the Republican flags? What are the Democrat flags? What do they believe in? What do you think they stand for? As you said, 80% plus of the people are going to have no idea.
Yeah, they just, because they're not involved in the party and they're not allowed to vote, so they feel disenfranchised. And that's where it is.
I don't think they feel disenfranchised, though. I think it's just an apathy that they just don't understand. Or you get, well, my parents voted Democrat, or my parents voted Republican. Or, Republicans are for, pro-life, and Democrats are pro-abortion, and blah, blah, blah. They know the major talking points, but they don't know the finer points of either party's platform or what the candidates individually stand for.
Agreed. Now, so here's where we can play this out, too. In this election coming up, the rhetoric that's out there, it's very difficult for the party opposite, regardless of what the party opposite is. I don't care who it is right now. But they would have to bring up why a statistically zero unemployment is bad. They would have to bring up why the deficit has slowed down. They'd have to bring up why the debt is slowing down. It might even turn around based on revenues. They would have to bring up the not the unemployment rate, the GDP, and the increase in work. And they would have to bring up negatives about that, but we hear none of that anywhere. What we hear is minor factions, and no faction has anything positive to drag out. Because how do you badmouth everybody working? How do you badmouth people taking care of themselves and actually moving ahead?
So, and here's the other part of that people seem to forget, right? There's multiple pieces to the unemployment number. There's multiple pieces to the employment number. How many of those are seasonal jobs? How many people are ramping up their workforce, getting ready for the holidays, and anticipation of that? How many of those are going to go away after the holidays, right? Then you look at the U3 numbers and the U6 numbers, and how many people have dropped out of looking for a job that have given up, that are no longer included in that number. There's so many pieces to that, such obfuscation that people, the general public, do not understand all of these numbers and how they all contribute to getting to where we're at and understanding what the actual financial or the overall picture looks like for unemployment and GDP and growth, so on and so forth.
Agreed. Oh, wow, man. Great segment. We never even got to our subject. Don't you hate that?
It happens. Sometimes we get off on a tangent, but that's okay.
Yeah, tangents are good sometimes. All right, Rick, plug yourself. Let's roll.
All right, Rick Davies. You can find me on Facebook and add me as a friend, but it is my choice if I choose to accept you.
Welcome back to the Hayden Collins radio program, the Intelligence Syndicate. It's been a week of fun in Washington, D.C., but keep this in mind, people. Only 30% of the population overall is even paying attention what is going on politically right now. The other 70% is too busy pushing a 4.2% economy. Like you, Nathan, you're busy. You're swamped, right?
Yeah. So it's actually been crazy driving around and looking around. And so you see signs up everywhere offering way more than minimum wage on a lot of jobs. I've seen Wendy's jobs going from anywhere from $12 to $14 an hour. McDonald's down the road was listening like vacation times and all this other stuff you can get, not as a manager, but as a regular employee.
Yeah.
That's how competitive the market is right now.
Well, for general labor, that's correct. It's very competitive for general labor. And statistically, I was watching these guys, they were saying, well, there's no evidence in the economy that people's wages are rising. And I'm going, you idiot. What employee is going to start a new job and just say they had their salary tripled, okay, and their new boss would know they overpaid for them? What employee is going to do that? Of course, there's no evidence. You guys need to pay attention and use some common sense. I think that the managers, here's where the problem we're going to run into. We got full-time engineers at schools. We got cops at $12 to $14 an hour. Firefighters at $12.50, things of that nature, and the economy is not going to catch up with them for some time. It will catch up to them, but it won't catch up to them for some time. So there's going to be a lot of fast food workers. They're going to be making more than professionals who actually went to school to become firefighters or cops or got a degree, just because of the way the economy is right now until they change directions.
Well, and it also is dependent on those jobs. Those are public sector jobs for the most part. Even the ambulance and EMTs are related usually very strongly to the public sector. So those rates are usually set at a local level and based on tax revenues and what they can get. And so what we've seen over the last few years, we have the largest school district in the United States in Cobb County here. And, they're talking about possibly adjusting the millage rate in order to pay teachers more because they're trying to be more competitive in their salaries. So several counties in Georgia talking about either SPOS taxes, increase of property taxes, other things to pay for this stuff. And so it's kind of bothersome on the other side. So, like I said, not all sectors of the economy are cashing out. And some people are currently seeing jobs right now can easily move to another job and pay more, really depending on what sector you're in, you could easily go get what is considered a low-skilled job from a higher-skilled job and actually get paid more in some instances depending on part of the country you're in. But when you're asking those people who've been scraping by for the last few years because of the economy and have built up debt, and then say, all right, we're going to bump up the tax rate another 2%, 3% locally, cost you another $100, $200 a month, you completely obliterated anything they've gained in order to catch up these public sector jobs, which at a base minimum are a kind of a fixed need. You only need X amount of firefighters, period.
Yeah, I understand that.
Thing, it will eventually need to adjust for the market type thing.
Right, and they will have to adjust to the market, and as tax revenues are coming in, I'm sure they'll have to catch up. I take in the conversation where everybody was screaming that fast food workers needed more money and they wanted to go to $15 an hour, and we've seen the disaster in Washington. Now all of a sudden we're seeing it where their wages are going up, they are getting benefits, things are happening, and then the private sector is not griping. They'll have to catch up, of course, in what they're going to do. But the deal is now they're getting what they want, but look what happened as well. We're on the verge of, 1975? And I'm really going to loosely pull this out, but I think it was 12% interest rate on money for loans in 1975. I'll have to look it up, but I remember it got as high as 25% interest. So although they're getting what they want, they no longer qualify for food stamps. They no longer qualify for whatever, because the jobs they got, the jobs that they're doing, no longer qualifies them to receive those benefits. Which is interesting overall, with just because the economy is a very, very complex thing, and so there's many different factors going into this. And I even predicted this before the election, going, good chance the Republicans are going to win, and it doesn't matter who the Republican is, the economy is going to pick up. Yep.
Because the talk on the Democratic side has been the same thing with the Obama administration. It puts a lot of uncertainty into the market, particularly revolving around Obamacare and other things. So that affects investment opportunities on a lower level. Plus, we hadn't fully recovered from the housing market, which drives a good chunk of the economy at a lower level, because you have a mix of skilled and unskilled labor, and there's always a need for housing. There's always a need for new business, remodeling, and things like that. And there are long-term equity investments. So they have a huge impact on the market, yet it's very slow because it takes a while to build a house, or get approval for a house, or zoning for a house. So they take a lot of time to get that moving. So we've seen alleviation of that side of the market starting to pick up. I've been in construction for over 15 years now, and I saw the really, really good times of the 90s. I saw the collapse coming before the collapse happened, and I can tell you right now it's recovering. There's a lot more work out there, and if you have, right now, if you can cut it as being a roofer, you can get a mint right now. You'd be a millionaire in the next 5 years if you're good at roofing.
Oh, yeah.
That competitive right now in just that one part of the industry, because there's not a lot of people doing it. So, in this whole, the market moves. Imagine like a waterbed. You push down in one area, and other things push up. So, certain part of the section of the economy are going to be bad, and so you're going to be hearing howling and crying off different special interest groups in order to try to correct this.
Speaking of which,
I'm looking at this as going, let it ride.
Right.
Because it will eventually self-correct.
But special interest groups are going out of business now.
Oh, yeah, and that's the thing. They benefited from the boom. I mean, seriously, so, like I said, I was doing basement remodels for years. People could remodel their basement, double the value of their house, and make it back by taking a loan against their own house.
Can't do that
and
no
make
more.
their money back in the value of the house.
Yep.
That was a money-making procedure for over a decade, and I was making hand over fist in that time frame. All right, that was good time for me. You couldn't do that the last 5 years. You still can't kind of do that right now. However, the housing value is going up, and so those type of investments, reinvestments into housing, is becoming more and more viable again. And I could easily move back into that sector and make a lot more money. Whereas in the last, 7-8 years, I could still make money, but not as much money or as much work as it was in the past.
Yeah, it's boomer bust.
Yeah, that's the normal cycle of things. And the problem is that coming from Washington, the dinosaurs, as we keep calling them, are there. They're used to that long-term, have a job, union job for 60-plus years, retire, benefits package, things like that. That isn't how society works. And people under the age of 30 will have 2 or 3 or 4 careers over their lifetime, which is actually really beneficial for them because of the market cycles. They can move around. Plus, this technology is picking up constantly. So you could be a fast food worker and then be a delivery person for like Domino's, and then turn around and be an Uber driver. Have the same exact skill set and not really changing much of anything, but be making a significant amount more money just by changing a little bit of what you're doing. And so people have the opportunity to change and adapt. And a lot more people are going for the gig economy and not going through the full 40, 50-hour a week working for one company. And because it gives much more flexibility in their own life. I do this personally for the last 10 years. And a lot more people are catching on. And because of technology and because of the internet, because of the growth of the market in general with technology, a lot more people have a lot more flexibility and control on how they make money. And if they are smart and pay attention and educate themselves, they can change and adapt to those markets and do really well. So there's a huge opportunity right now. And so people are jumping ship. And some of those markets are going to suffer. But the people in general, if they can adapt, will not suffer.
Indeed. All right, plug yourself.
Hey everyone, this is Nathan Wilson. I'm the Executive Director of the Libertarian Party of Georgia. Follow me on Twitter at Nathan, the number 4 Liberty.